Episode 2602. It's Wednesday, June the 21st. Thank you so much for being here. If you have not yet left a 5-star review on Apple Podcast or Spotify, anywhere you bang your ear holes, make sure you do so right now. It helps tremendously. And of course, everything contained in this episode. If you want to get started with the Swole fam today, head on over to swolenormousx.com and join the fam today. We have full programs, an entire yoga studio, meditation center, and of course our kitchen, world famous kitchen, with thousands of recipes and everything you need to execute on your elimination diet and customize your training and nutrition today. Join the fam, swolenormousx.com. The following program is rated TV MANOC. It contains a big pair of nuts directly on your chin. It is intended only for mature audiences. Viewer discretion advised.
It's white cis men who are a part of the far right-winged ideology of fascism.
You have poor mental health.
I let my wife sleep with other men.
White shenanigans.
You don't need to virtue signal this hard.
Unvaccinated.
I'm a simp.
It's called a cuck.
Cis.
Soy bitch.
Oh!
Obesity is epidemic in the United States and a major cause of death.
What is fat activism?
I, a fat person, am sharing my own lived experience.
Pizza is a vegetable.
Your fat phobia is your problem.
It is not my place as a smaller-bodied white man to comment on it.
Radical body positivity.
What can men do against such reckless hate?
There's only one man who can help me.
This is for you new people. I only have one rule. Everyone fights, no one quits.
This day we fight!
The sun is shining, the birds are chirping, the bacon is sizzling. Welcome to the Daily Swole.
Testing. Testing, testicles. Ooh, welcome everyone to episode 26 hundo and dos of the Daily Mother Swole, the most muscular swolecast, beercast, broadcast, gangcast, mancast, pimpcast, sleazecast, and slaycast in the realm. Because when I flex, you flex, we all flex our biceps. What's going on, beaches, booshes, busters, hustlers, and your hoes? It's your boy Papa Swolio back with another episode. Today's episode of the Beastcast, come here, is sponsored by Everesting K2, flexing on all you B.
Fucking Catalina wine mixer.
It's the fucking Catalina wine mixer.
It's the fucking Catalina wine mixer.
What's going on, fam? Welcome to the show. Come one, come all. Hit the thumbs up button if you're watching on Rumble or you're watching on the YouTubes. Make sure you hit the thumbs up, subscribe, all that good stuff, and drop a comment down below. What are you smashing today? It's Wednesday, June 20th, and we have a great show today. We got some Swole fan posts. We'll take some questions, of course, in the Knowledge Cock portion. And as always, we're going to go balls deep.
Because
Are you ready? Can you handle it? I think you can. A lot of you are like, Papa Swole, you've been stretching us out for years. We're ready for it. All right, let's get into it. Let's summon the Falcon and get today's card exposed. Some of you that are members, you already got your Swole text, so you know what today's Swole card's all about. So drop that hashtag in the comments down below. Thank you, Freddie. Respect. Thank you. Settle down. Thank you, Leo, you raging alcoholic. Hashtag make America swole for a chance to win today's swole card. John says, wait, did I just see all of them? The rarely seen triple threat puppers patrol. No, you didn't. You didn't see all of them. I know. No, you must have seen an apparition. I mean, she's right here next to me. Well, not literally, but on the screen, you know, she's the regal Papa Swolio. She's in the other room. She's in the room. She was here the other day, though. But we have Tainty Man and we have the church. So we got two of three. Hopefully we'll get a triple threat. Maybe we'll get a triple threat tomorrow. Maybe. If you're good. If you all are good. Cerny, did I hear that correctly? That it's 32 degrees? Isn't it? Aren't you in California and isn't it June? Is that correct? You said, what the hell is 32 degrees? Is this June? That doesn't sound accurate. How is it possibly 32 degrees? It is hot today. It's going to be a scorcher today. Anyone else sweating balls? Anyone else sweating balls out there? Yeah. It's going to be hot as fuck today. It's 32 degrees in California? Holy shit. Maybe hell really can freeze over. Oh! You like that? You like that? Time to move. It's been long since time to move. Well, California is beautiful, except if you're in the cities. I think that's like that with anywhere. The states are beautiful. New York State is beautiful. The city is a cesspool. I'm sure there's places in Illinois that are nice. Chicago is, well, the Middle East. You have LA. Ugh. San Francisco, we all know. But the rest of it's nice. There's a lot out there that's nice, right? Yeah. Texas is looking to be 102 degrees. Yeah, it is hot. It is hot. I don't know what's going to be like down here in Florida today. I think it's going to be 90, 91. Low 90s today. Low 90s today. As it should be. As it should be, low 90s. All right, let's get into the tip. Again, if you want to win today's swole card, hashtag MAS, hashtag MAS. But of course, it's MAS, it's mass. Make America Swole. I love that right there in the corner. Hashtag Make America Swole to win today's swole card. Now, let's get into that tip. Babe, just an inch, just an inch. It's cold outside. All right. It is. Well, it's not. Well, I guess it is. I guess it is cold where Cerny is. Okay, let's get into the tip. Let's get into the new Swole Fam post. We got a couple. We got one from Debbie. Very nice. All right. Big week. Big week. We are coming off a signature series on Monday. We're coming off P3S7. We're also coming off Summer Flash special. It's been a hectic couple weeks, and it's been crazy. This past week, we had a great roundtable last Thursday. We had an awesome overtime segment with a drive Mulgaining. We do have overtime coming up on Friday, so we'll have another DWG coming up on Friday. So, God, one big week into another big week. But let's get into the first Swole Fam post. What we got here?
What's in the box?
Debbie is going to save us all. Debbie is going to save our nips. All right, Debbie says, let me see if I can shrink that, move that over. There we go. Debbie says, howdy, Swole Fam. My 13-year-old son wanted to start training, and I came up with a full-body workout for him. He has been doing it for just about 2 weeks now, and I have had him going light and focusing on proper form. My question is, how hard, I'm assuming she meant to write, how had, maybe that's a Boston accent? Can we confirm that? How had should he push? How had should he push? Should he push had? Should he push hadda? Should he be training hadda? What do you think? My question is, how hard should he push? He doesn't have any weight to lose. He just wants to work out. Well, he's 13. He should not go to failure. You know, you need to build up that ability, you need to build up that work capacity. He's still growing, still learning. You can gauge that you can probably gauge that by if his strength is increasing. You can gauge that by if he's really sore the next day. A full body workout, probably doing it 2 or 3 times a week is fine. Just be mindful of the intensity and the volume. When you first start, you got to be careful of if you train intensely and you go heavy or you push to failure, you don't want to, or you're not really pushing to failure. I shouldn't say that you actually can push to failure, but if you're training until you can't do another rep, you only should do that one set. But I would say don't train to absolute failure. Of course, leave a few reps in the tank, do maybe a set or two per body part, keep the volume light. I don't know what he's doing right now. That's a general statement that you have him doing full body. So it's really what's more important than having him do total body, which is fine, is the actual volume and the rep scheme and things like that. So the rep scheme, you can still get super sore and cause damage if you're doing 15 reps or 20 reps to failure. Same thing with like 5 reps to failure. It's not exactly the same physiologically, but you're doing a lot of damage and you're going to a maximum capacity. So I would say it's just important to leave at least a few reps in the tank. You don't want to push until absolute limit and then go based on how he feels. You're not going to cause any joint damage unless you're doing tons and tons of volume and tons of intensity and you're really overdoing it, causing trauma. So the lesson here is less is more. Make sure the form is proper and the consistency and his enjoyment for doing it is really important. The first time I ever lifted was when I was 13. So I have a story specifically to this. The first time I ever lifted weights, picked up anything, was when I was 13. And it was in my friend's, another kid on the baseball team that I was on. And I was in his basement, and him and his brother, I think he had an older brother, and his older brother had weightlifting set and stuff. So he had some basic weightlifting equipment in the basement. And we did bench press, we did curls, and I did like overhead tricep extensions. And of course, he pushed me hard. Like, hey, do this, keep going. And I trained to failure. I couldn't straighten my arms for like 2 or 3 weeks. I couldn't straighten my arms. I was just locked up here because we did curls and I think it was easy bar curls, or it was one of those oval bars with the oval shaped bars with the 2 handles in the middle. Anyway, my biceps tendon was so sore, I couldn't straighten out my arm for like a couple weeks. So don't cause that kind of trauma. You just don't need to push to failure. You don't need to go to that absolute limit. All right. Yeah, I was fucked up. Because you have to think about this. You're creating a new stress when you exercise. You're creating a stimulus on your body. You're subjecting your body to stress. And it's different now when I try to subject my body to stress. I have to subject my body to so much stress because it's used to a lot of stress. So in order to create the stimulus or to subject my body to a stimulus in which it will lead my body to grow or to develop or to get stronger, it has to be that much, it has to be a lot. So I don't do a lot of volume because I have to really hit that peak of that stimuli much more than I did when I was 13. So imagine 13, you've never had any experience. I've never had any kind of stress, never had that stimulus before, period. So it's completely new. Fucking blasted. Rebecca Kirk reminds me of the love guru. Does it hurt when you do that? Don't do that. That's right. That's right. Is that the guy on Instagram where he's like, fuck your job. Nobody cares anyway. Your job is bullshit. Monday will come and no one will care. Is that the guy that does that? He sits like in a stream. Does it hurt when you do that? Don't do that. All right, we got one here from Valerie from our discussion boards in Swolenormous X. Hello, everyone. Valerie here from South Dakota, 42 years old, happy to be here. Became a certified nutrition coach this year. That led me to the podcast on the journey to find my community. And here I am. Welcome to the fam. Welcome. Welcome to the fam, Valerie from South Dakota. Anyone else from South Dakota? I think Stone is from North Dakota. Valerie and the 7 other people that live there. Welcome, 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 Valerie. All right. I missed one. Here's one. I meant to do this one first. We got one here from Mark. Papa has Howard. I have Finkel. Pronouns he and beesh. I usually catch the man cast at work, and there are times when the balls deep section makes me want to go stand in front of the railroad next to my work building. So since raging at work is not an option, I just scream into Finkel, and he's taken his fair share of beatings, but I have not ripped his butthole yet. Hello, Finkel. Finkel, to be honest, Mark, looks a lot like Einhorn, if I'm not mistaken.
Einhorn is Finkel. Finkel is Einhorn.
Looks more like an Einhorn. I don't know. They're so similar. I guess Finkel is Einhorn. Ah, poor Finkel. And if you don't know, if you're just new to the podcast and you're thinking, why is this guy writing into the show and talking about his stuffed animal and how the butthole is still intact? Well, you'll know when we go into the balls deep section, because Howard over here's his asshole is destroyed. Just ridiculous gape over here. Howard's not doing well. He's not doing well. He's torn open from all the beatings. Got any more of that gum? No, Dan. I thank you to stay out of my personal affairs. All right. So let's get into some questions. We'll move right along to some questions today. If you do want to submit a call to the show, we don't have any calls today, but if you do, go to askpapasolio.com. You can call and leave a message at any time. And of course, if you are not on the email list, go to makeemailswoleagain.com. All these links are in the show notes and the description. So if you're not pleased with your inbox, if you go to your Gmail or your iPhone mail and you're not happy with what you see a lot of promotions, see a lot of spam, well, allow me to bust a load all over your inbox. Allow me to fill that inbox up with the knowledge cock. Trust me, I will. I will make your email swole again. I promise. Go to makeemailswoleagain.com and sign up today. I'll take care of you. Daddy will take care of you. All right. If you have questions, let's do a little hashtag Ask Papa Swole. If you got a question, drop it in the comments down below. And of course, we have a little Make America Swole card today. So hashtag MAS, hashtag MAS for a chance to win today's Swole card. We got one from Tyler. Let's see. Tyler says, Papa Swolio, since doing low carb for a month, I feel fucking amazing. Less bloating, more energy, and overall great performance during the day. Would slowly adding extra carbs, not a lot, make a difference? Well, how would I know? Make a difference for what? I think everyone should be lower carb, in my opinion. Low carb just means you're not stuffing carbs in your face all day long. I think most people should just focus on protein and fat. So low carb, I don't know what you mean by that, to be honest. It depends on everyone's opinion. When someone says, and I'm not saying you're not doing low carb, but you have to clarify if you're talking to people. If they say low carb, or what does that mean? Does that mean you're having, some people consider low carb a loaf of bread a day. So you need to get some perspective. But in general, that means in terms of your macro ratios, you're maybe consuming 5, 10, 15% carbohydrates. I just do some fruit. So that I've navigated naturally away from sweet potatoes and white rice. Those were the two carbs that I would do once in a while. I would do some sweet potatoes once in a while or some white rice once in a while. I just never really felt that good. It got to the point where I just wasn't feeling good anymore when I had white rice. I just felt bloated and just kind of, meh. I might try it again. I might test it again at some point, but I just haven't had a desire for it. So I haven't gone through the process of making it. And we make sweet potatoes for the dogs just to mix in a little bit with their food. And I just haven't had a bite. I haven't won. I look at them like, I just don't feel like I need it. But I get plenty of carbs because I have kefir. So I get, the milk sugars and carbs from that, and mangoes and watermelon and a lot of fruit. 1 second. I got a call. 1 second, fam. I got to take a call. Take the Tainty Man for a second. All right, fam, we're back. Oof. I thought I was going to be able to, man, we're going to have to move through this a little bit quicker today. I thought I was going to have a little bit more time. I have someone coming I need to handle. So we're going to have to move forward. I wonder, maybe we'll have to come back a little bit later today. I don't think we're going to do that. We're going to have a abbreviated show today. So if you have any live questions, I will take live questions, but we're going to move into balls deep in just a few moments. I thought I was going to have time, so apologies, but we're going to have to cut today's episode a little bit more brief. You know, whenever they give you a, or we'll just take questions. We'll take questions. We'll do balls deep tomorrow. So we'll stay. Yeah. You know, whenever they give you a service window, they never show up. They never show up early. Now they're just like fucking dead on, right on time. Give me a break. Let's see. We'll take a couple questions, and then I think we might just, we might just dip on the balls deep, because no loss there. So any more questions or topics will be here, maybe like 10 minutes or so. John says, Papa Soli, when you were playing baseball, were there any thoughts of trying out for the major leagues? Beyond being a kid, did you think you may have what it took as an adolescent? When I think back on it, I think there was kind of like that idea, you know, anyone that plays baseball or anything when you're younger, it's kind of like what you're doing is just what you always do. That's what you're used to. But I did play at a high level. I did play like in national tournaments and stuff like that. And once I went to college is when that kind of desire dissipated. I didn't really think about it like, oh, I'm going pro. But I was going to go play at that next level. I was going to, I think where the bubble or the reality settled in a little bit more was when I went to try out for colleges. When I was going to college, I went to a couple of those weekend workshops where you would go and then display your skills, and they'd bring in a lot of like potential recruits. And it was just, the kids there were just fucking insane. It was just insane. So I went to a couple of those weekend workshop and workout sessions at some like big D1 schools on the East Coast. And it was just, once you get to that level, you know, high school is one thing, but then all of a sudden that jump from high school to college is just, you have all the freaks, right? All the freaks. So when you're in high school and you have this collection of people, you don't see the same concentration you do when you go to all-star games, you go to regionals, you do like summer ball, you have the more serious kids, or you have these selected teams from various counties and things like that kind of come together. So all of a sudden the level increases and the quality increases as you get more concentrated talent. But yeah, once you go to that next level, woof, it's fucking out of control. Out of control. John says, does that mean we can go deeper and harder tomorrow? My beef curtains were expecting a good stretch today. I felt great. I was ready for it. Look, it's like, it's not Comcast, but whenever they say 12 to 6, when are they showing up? 5:30? I got a 9 to 12 window. So I was like, all right, I'll start the podcast at 9. We'll make it through. I didn't think it would be, I was shocked. I am shocked. I'm not ready. I'm not ready for that, fam. I'm not ready. Yeah, I think we'll just skip the balls deep. I think we'll just skip the BD and we'll go right to the swole card. So, yeah, I don't like the tease. I feel bad. I would have waited. I would have waited a little bit longer. I had no idea. We'll take another question or two. Let's see. Charlie C101, you say go to the gym every day, but I hear a lot of people say you need a rest day. What do you do? Active recovery. Saying go to the fucking gym just means you need to be taking care of your health every day. You need to be putting in some effort every day. Moses 30s, Papa Solia, what are some good workouts to do when you're doing biceps and back? We'll do back and biceps. If you're going to do them on the same day, make sure you're hitting the back from different angles. Do a high row movement to hit the lats more. You could do a pullover. You could do a high row. You could do an underhand high row position on a pulley. Kneeling single arm row is great. I would do some sort of a barbell row or a machine row. And you can even do a low row or a T-bar row. It depends on what machines you have access to. One arm dumbbell row. You do a pull down. You want to hit the lats. You want to hit the rhomboids. You can hit the extensors too with hyperextensions or deadlifts or good mornings. Let's see here. Tyler, do you think over the course of years and years with a new generation of kids developing, what would the impact of it be globally since the world now is becoming somewhat woke from these idiots? That's a big question. The course of years and years. Ugh. Well, the thing is, we're not the only country, so people have to keep that in mind. It's not like whatever we do determines the world. So as our country flounders with this, mind virus, other countries are continuing to industrialize and kick ass in a lot of different areas. So we have to step up our game. But there's a lot of logic behind the concept of liberals and people that are extremely pro-choice and are always virtue signaling with protecting the environment and climate change and blah, 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 all the things that we all know exist, but we don't hide under our beds and point fingers at the boogeyman about. They're not having the amount of kids that more conservative minded people are. So it might actually backfire. If you're sterilizing kids and you're cutting off genitals and you're striking fear into the younger generation that humans are like, we're not going to have an earth to live on, and you're causing a lot of fear, and kids want to be influencers. They don't want to actually start families, and more and more people have veered away from religion and looked to technology and to the government as their deity. They're going to have less children. So you'll have a lot more religion, people with a moral foundation, families and conservative families having kids. So these things just take time. So I think a lot more people are homeschooling and a lot more people are going to be going in a different direction. Let's see. John Roach, Papa, my wife is close to giving birth to our third child and wants to get into working out like me to be around for the kids longer, but she broke her pelvis about 10 years ago and has limited movement. Should she focus on stretching and yoga first or try to throw some lifting with it? That's brutal. Well, I would definitely, because I'm, not her medical provider and I don't want to give any incorrect information, but I would definitely say she should focus on the lower intensity stretching and yoga. I would definitely opt for that. I would absolutely think that's a better idea. I think that's a much better idea than just going right into weightlifting. But if you do weightlifting, you should be building into it slowly, for sure. But yoga and all those things are fantastic. Lacey, thoughts on improving grip endurance? My grip is solid, but it's starting to fade quickly. Club work, club and mace. Of course, the hand grippers and things are important. But making sure you're strengthening all different aspects, doing your extensors as well. Well, grip endurance, not strength. I mean, what's the difference too? It's your endurance of the strength. So I know you do farmer's carries and things like that, but working that from different angles, dead hangs and things of that nature. Clubs are fantastic because they'll work muscles that don't get worked dynamically. But of course, Lacey does a lot of dynamic movements. I was thinking, what if we just do a part 1, part 2, and we kind of hit the pause button and come right back, and we do like a part 1, part 2. What do you guys think about that? I don't feel comfortable cutting it off right now, but I do want to stop before I get cut off. Have you done any club work stuff, Lacey? What do you guys think? Part 1, part 2? I like that. I like part 1, part 2. We'll just come right back here. What do you think? Let's do that. Let's do that. I'm totally fine with. I mean, that's the lay of the land. It is what it is, right? We'll do a part 2. Yeah. All right, cool. So we'll hit the pause button right now. I will go back to the loading screen, and then I'll send you a swole text. We'll come back maybe an hour, maybe less. We'll see. And then we'll continue. I like it. I like it, fam. All right, round of applause. I appreciate the... See, we're flexible, right? Adapt, right? Adapt. I tried. When do they show up at the beginning of the window? When do they show up? When do they show up at the early part? They never do. They never do. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. All right, fam. We'll be back in a little bit. Just leave the stream on. Just let it keep going. All right. We'll go back to the loading screen, and I will text you soon. Should I just leave the stream on? Just leave it room. All right. I'll text you guys.